What's up? What's up? What's up? Of course, it's me, your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Prime Support. Shoot another awesome video, cause that's what we do. Man, what's up? What's up? What's up? You know, Consumer Prime Support, we review appliances. Today we're gonna focus on a whirlpool dryer. Alright, and of course, this portion of the video we're gonna focus on the functions and the features. Man, you already know, man, from checking out all our videos, this is my favorite part of reviewing the appliance. All right, so now that you got this appliance at home, you have the matching set with the washer and the dryer. Now it's time for you to use the dryer. What's some of the bells and whistles? What happens when you press this button? What can it do? All right, so that's where we're gonna dive into this portion of the video. We're gonna let it rock for a second, man, so that you can be able to see that. All right, so we're gonna let that roll. You can see the model number behind me if you wanna pause it, check it out. Of course, that's gonna be in the description box as well. So when you're looking at this, we gotta wait for it to load up for a second. This Whirlpool dryer, you can get it in multiple colors. You can get it in white, or you can get it in a graphite steel. You can see the chrome on the door, the Whirlpool. Really nice looking dryer. All right, so we're just gonna pause it right there for a second. Dive into a couple of things inside the owner's manual, man, so that you'll know exactly how to really use this appliance. All right, so before we get started, a couple things that we can do. All right, number one, clean the lint screen, right? It says clean the lint screen before each load. Also, clean the exhaust vent at least every 2 years. We normally recommend about once a year, but according to the manual here, they're saying about 2 years, every 2 years. So that's pretty good to get that stuff done. So if you want to get it done, of course, you can call your local companies in your area that does any exhaust vent or vent cleaning. If you have central air and all that stuff inside your home, anyone that does duct work and cleaning it, you can actually call a company to come out and clean the dryer. All right, of course, it says load dryer. Press the power to turn the dryer on. One of the great things about the Whirlpool appliance, they have the what to dry and they have the how to dry. So the what to dry gives you the delicates or the colors depending on the settings. Then of course you have how to dry it if you want to time dry, wrinkle dry. You also have adjust cycle settings if desired, additional options if you like, and of course it says press and hold the start/pause to begin the cycle. All right, so that's one of the things you're going to have to do on this particular unit. You can't just press start. You're going to have to hold it until it actually counts 3, 2, 1, and then it activates. But you're going to see that in the video as well. All right, so we can let that rock and let that roll. All right, so one of the things that we can go back to just to look at the video, you have the power button here. You also have what to dry like we just discussed. You got your regular, your whites, your delicates, colors, bulky, and towels. All right, you also see the Whirlpool symbol on to the left. And move out a little bit so you can actually see that. I went a little bit too far, but hey, we're going to watch it. We're going to check it out anyway. All right, so when you see that, you see the Whirlpool decal. You also see a remote enable, drum light. You have steam options, steam refresh, and you have your temperature setting, and you have dryness, but we're going to get into all that as well. Also, your drum light doubles as a damp dry signal. You hold it for about 3 seconds and it'll let you know when the clothes are damp. All right, so if you don't want to get anything too dry, then you can use that function, use that feature. That's pretty cool, like that. All right, so just gonna let this rock for a little bit, man. You also see we talked about the dryness, wrinkle shield. So now you're looking at how to dry. You have your normal, wrinkle control, heavy duty, sanitized, time dry, quick. You have more and less time if you like. You have eco boost, which also doubles as a cycle signal. You hold that for 3 seconds. You do have more options, and of course you have your start button there. All right, so you're gonna check it out and see how we play with the unit. Press this button here and there, how easy it is for it to respond. It's not rough, it's just, you know, press the buttons and it just comes right on there as well. Either side you can do that, and as you can see, the number setting changes as I change different cycles. So I'm just gonna pause it right there so that we can go into the control panel. Right, dive into this unit real quick. Control panel and features. Of course, we already discussed the power. Talked about a little bit what to dry / how to dry. It says first select a cycle from what to dry, then select the how to dry to get the best combination cycle available for the type of items you are going to dry. All right, so we're going to go into the cycle guide as well as we continue to dive into this video. You have your start / pause button. You already know you can start it, you can pause it. That's really good there. You have modifiers. It says not all cycles and options are available in all models, so you want to keep that in mind. You also, it says note, dryer remembers the last completed cycle and cycle settings. The next time you turn the dryer on, it will be set to run the last cycle. All right, so that's one of the things that you want to think about with these new appliances. They're a lot smarter, so they try to adapt to how you really like using the appliance, and once it figures you out, then you're able to just hit start, and whatever is your favorite settings that you like to use, the machine sometimes automatically knows that, and of course you can start your dryer whenever. All right, so I like that feature. All right, so making your job a lot easier. All right, let's talk about temp. Man, it says touch to modify the cycle's available temperature. All right, it says air only. All right, so of course that means your dryer is circulating with no heat. You have your low, medium, high, and high. It says follow garment label instructions for best results. It says once a cycle has started, the temperature can be changed within the first 5 to 8 minutes. All right, so you want to be able to do that. Dryness, it says touch to modify the cycle's available dryness levels on the sensor cycles. These are options that you can use, and I want us to all get familiar with using these different options, because most people buy appliances or buy something like this and they actually don't use all the functions, they don't use all the features. They just go with the normal setting, and whatever the preset setting is, they just hit start, and when it doesn't work, they think it's an issue with the appliance, but it could just be the clothes are too wet. It's maybe too much clothes inside the dryer. They're not as loose as they need to be, so it doesn't circulate properly. So if you got, and also if you mix in different fabrics, that has an issue with the dryer as well, that will cause it not to dry properly. So you want to think about that when you're using the appliance. All right, dryness level, less, normal, and of course you have more. It says dryness is for use with automatic cycles only. Wrinkle shield options, it says touch to turn on and off and on with steam. All right, select models. It says wrinkle shield option adds up to 150 minutes of periodic tumbling and heat to reduce wrinkling. Wrinkle shield option and steam will add a short steam cycle after 60 minutes to help smooth wrinkles. All right, so this is an added feature. A lot of appliances are doing this as well. This is not nothing new, but again, sometimes your dryer will continue to keep tumbling after the cycle. That helps with that as well. As you can see, to prevent the wrinkling, it adds a little bit of steam in there for 60 minutes to help smooth out the clothes, so you don't have to deal with that. So that's a really good option there, especially if you got like shirts and different pants that you put inside the dryer that you really don't want to get wrinkled because of the fabric. And of course you don't want to wrinkle, so you just bam, you just throw it on real quick and just get out the house. All right, so that's really good. All right, we have cycle options. Not all cycles and options are available on all models. It says use to select available modifiers for your dryer. Remote enable, it says touch each time you want to remotely control via the Whirlpool app. All right, it says follow the instructions in the Get the Whirlpool app and get connected. It says section below are for more details. Note, once remote enable has been selected, certain interaction with the dryer will cause it to cancel remote enable. Example, opening the door. All right, so let's look at the damp dry signal. This is something that we talked about earlier. That's right under the drum light. All right, so if you want to be able to see that, you can see that there. And it says touch damp dry signal or touch and hold drum light, depending on the model. It says for at least 3 seconds to turn the damp dry signal on and off. You will get a sound and a display notification as items are damp. You can pause and reposition for best results. All right, so you have that there to help you with the dryness or damp. Give you a signal, let you know when the clothes are damp. You have the drum light, pretty easy. Hit the button, the light comes on or the light comes off. You also have steam options. It says touch to add and or reduce static to selected cycles. Steam option adds steam to the end of the cycle to help smooth wrinkles. So we just talked about that in the wrinkle option. It says reduce static will automatically tumble, pause, and introduce a small amount of moisture to the load to help reduce static. All right, so this is pretty good. All right, so you can reduce static on your machine. You still could use those fabric softeners, because not fabric softeners, those sheets, dryer sheets, it's still good to use those. I've had customers that use the dryer balls, so that seemed to work as well. So whichever works best for you. But as you can see, your dryer also helps you with the static, because it's nothing like taking off your clothes and you get zapped or electrocuted. It's uncomfortable. All right, so we got steam refresh. This is on steam models only. It says this cycle is best for reducing wrinkles for dry items. Cycle time will increase depending on number of items. It says this is an independent cycle that cannot be combined with any other cycle. All right, so that's what that is. All right, so more time, less time, timed dry adjust, touch more time or less time with the time dry quick. Dry cycle to increase or decrease the length of the cycle time. Eco Boost option. It says Eco Boost option will default on only for the regular normal cycle and is only available on that cycle. This option allows you to increase your energy savings by using a slightly lower heat level. All right, so that's one of the things that you want to think about, right? It uses a slightly lower heat level. So if you select this option with a normal size load, it's not going to dry your clothes properly. All right, I understand you want to save energy. The machine is efficient enough, but they're adding all these different options. So you want to understand the option when you select it and what's supposed to happen when you do select it, so you don't have to call anybody to come out and spend money unnecessarily because it was just a user error. All right, it says the Eco Boost option will increase drying times by approximately 40 minutes, which will be reflected on the LCD display. If optimal time is desired, touch Eco Boost to turn off this option. All right, so again, if you got a normal load, I suggest just using your regular normal load without using this Eco option. Cycle signal says use this option to turn the signal indicating the end of a drying cycle to low, medium, high, or off. Press and hold cycle select to select the volume. All right, so good amount of option there. Of course, you have more options, so we can get into a lot of this stuff here. More options. It says touch to select your favorite cycle. All right, so let me get into this a little bit. Only available for models with Wi-Fi capability, and this model does have Wi-Fi. It says favorite cycle. You may create custom cycles in the app and store one frequently used or favorite cycle on the machine. All right, so again, this is a smart appliance. You can do so much with the app. You got to connect it with the Wi-Fi, so of course you want to make sure it's in a good spot for that. All right, LCD display. It says when you select a cycle, its default setting will display, and the estimated time remaining for automatic cycles will vary depending on what to dry and how to dry. Selections or actual time remaining for time dry cycles for manual cycles will be displayed. All right, it says cycle phase labels. It says sensing. It says display during sensor cycles to indicate that the moisture sensor on the dryer is operating. It will not be displayed during the time quick dry cycles or options such as a wrinkle shield option. All right, so again, this is a smart appliance that deals with sensing of the different loads. One of the great things about this appliance, or any appliance when you're dealing with the sensors, if you set it for about 60 minutes, it's not going to run the full 60 minutes. It's probably going to run maybe 45 minutes. And if it's done and it senses that the clothes are dry, it shuts the dryer off instead of running for the entire 60 minutes. All right, so it's not like time dry like back in the day. You hit the time for 60 minutes. It's going to run for an hour. The sensing doesn't do that. So you got to make sure that you got the proper clothing and the fabric that matches. Right, jeans with jeans, towels with towels, nothing real heavy and all that, because as it spins, the dryer hits the sensor, and the sensor is what dictates the moisture inside of the clothes and communicate with your control board, and that's when it turns the dryer off if it feels as though there's no moisture inside the clothes or inside the dryer. All right, it says dryer is in the main dry phase of the automatic cycle. Steaming, it says steam option selected and steam phase running. Cool down. It says the dryer has finished drying with heat and is now tumbling the load without heat to cool it down. All right, so static reduced. It says reduced static phase is running. You got your end or display message will show drying is complete. All right, it says it will timeout after 5 minutes. They will indicate that the selected cycles has ended and load may be removed from the dryer. If wrinkle shield option has been selected, the dryer may continue to tumble the load even if end is displayed. Check vent, and this is really important. This is one of the things that we love about these new dryers. that they're giving you the check vent features. All right, so check vent alert is a feature available for automatic cycles only. This alert will show the status of airflow through the dryer and the dryer vent system for the dryer's life. All right, during the sensing phase at the beginning of the cycle, if it detects a blocked vent or low pressure, it will display check vent, clean lint screen or vent for better performance. All right, so your dryer is able to sense, right, if the vent is blocked or low pressure. All right, so that helps with your dryer giving you a code or giving you a message to let you know, check the vents. Something could be clogged. That's where a lot of the issues stem from when you're dealing with dryers, that they overheat. When they overheat, it burns up the fuses. It blows the fuses. It burns out the heating element. So when you're looking at your dryer, it burns out components from overheating. So that's one of the main issues that you have with dryers, is that the lint and the vent and exhaust vents are clogged up. All right, make sure you take care of that. The dryer will continue to operate even when the check vents and notification displayed, but poor airflow can impact dry times and overall performance. All right, one of the biggest issue there. Takes a long time to dry, or it's not heating up fast enough, or it's not hot enough. All right, display message can be cleared by pressing any key with the exception of power, which will cancel the cycle. All right, so we get into all that as well. And of course, if you have any issues that you want to set up the app with the Wi-Fi, you can look at the screen and they'll be able to help you out with that as much as they can. All right, let's get back into the video, man, so we can rock with this joint, man. Get into it. Like I said before, you got to hold it. You can see inside the dryer where the drum is spinning. You got to hold it. 1, 3, 2, 1, then it starts. All right, so we want to let that rock for a little bit. Opening the door, as you open the door, the light comes on, so you don't have to really press the light button. You can just look at it just to see what's going on the inside of the dryer. All right, so of course we're talking about, this is a steam dryer, man. So inside the dryer drum, you do have the baffles, so you want to make sure the baffles are sturdy. That's what rotates the clothes inside the drum. I didn't have a little picture on there, but the baffles are these little white things that you see there, one there, one up there, and one here. All right, that allows your dryer to spin and circle and spin the clothes around. So you want to make sure those are inside the dryer. That has an effect on it. All right, we always mention clean your dryer vent, clean the lint. All right, so you want to make sure you do that as well. All right, so that's pretty good there. So we're just gonna let that sit there for a second. We're gonna go into the dryer guide, so we know how to use the cycle guide on the dryer as well. So we want to keep this joint going and keep it moving. All right, so it says your dryer has a unique user interface to help you select the best cycle you need for your load. The what to dry, how to dry layout guides you for the optimum cycle in 2 easy steps. First, determine what items are in the load that you are trying to dry. All right, use that to guide your what to dry selection. This is then determine how you want the dryer to dry them by selecting the appropriate how to dry selection. Modifiers are preset for the items being dried, but can be changed if necessary. All right, so that's one of the things that you want to think about. It says to get the most energy savings and enhanced fabric care for your dryer, use the automatic cycles. It says these cycles measure the drying air temperature and moisture levels to turn the dryer off once the load reaches a select dryness level. Drying performance and results may vary, with service voltage less than rated voltage and all that stuff 240 for electric. Gas is 120. All right, so according to this, how to dry, what to dry. For best fabric care, choose the cycle that best fits the load being dried. R stands for recommended cycles. A, alternate cycle, and a blank cycle is available but not optimal. All right, so when we look at it, how to dry, how do you want to dry? How to dry cycle, you have your normal, wrinkle control, heavy duty, sanitized, time and dry, and quick. All right, so it says regular. Automatic sensing cycle stops when dryness level is reached. All right, so that's one of the things we're talking about with the sensor. Dryness level shuts off instead of running the full cycle. All right, so that's pretty good there. All right, heavy duty, high heat, longer cycle. Automatic sensor cycle stops when dryness level. So that also has a sensing cycle as well. You have your sanitized, which is high heat, used to kill 99.9% of 3 common bacteria. Time dry, it says set amount of dry time Dryer runs for the amount of time selected. So that's like a manual cycle. All right, you have your quick set amount of dry time. Dryer runs for the amount of time selected. Again, that's another manual cycle as well. What to dry and what do you want to dry? What to dry? So you have baby clothes, pajamas, handkerchiefs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, coats and jackets, cotton drapes, machine wash curtains, tablecloth, business casual, and non-iron fabrics. All right, so these are the things that you'll use when you're using the regular cycle, and all this is going to be in the description box as well. That's one of the things we love about the owner's manual. All the stuff is in here and it's going to teach you how to really use it. All right, let's talk about delicates. You have bras, fabric shower curtain, lingerie, sheers, undergarments, wool, dress pants, and dress shirts. All right, that's another one there. For bulky items, you can use blankets. All right, fabrics and rugs, you got to be careful with those, especially in the wash machine. If it shreds, that's going to have an effect on the wash machine, and it's going to cause your machine not to drain. It could damage your pump or motor, so keep that in mind. Heavy drapes, you got jeans and you have comforters, pet bedding, pillows, fiber fill, sheets, sleeping bags, and stuffed animals. All right, so these are certain things that you can actually do when you're using the bulky items. Again, be careful. Make sure that the machine or the wash machine is spinning everything out, because you don't want to put heavy comforters, beddings, blankets inside the dryer, because that can pop the belt and cause the dryer to not function. All right, so just keep that in mind. The star says extended high heat drying cycle intended to help sanitize items such as sheets and towels. This cycle is not recommended for all fabrics. For best results, this cycle should be run to completion to ensure sanitation and do not interrupt cycle. All right, so that's good there. All right, so a lot of the stuff it says how do you want to dry. We did that already as well. Let's look at some of these additional cycles. Right, it says what to dry. You have whites, which is cotton undergarments, white napkins, athletic, that's for colors. All right, so it's only two for the whites, which is cotton undergarments and white napkins. All right, so you have colors, you have athletic wear, performance wear, colored napkins. Of course, when you're in the gym, you're working out, that's one of the things that a lot of people are doing now, so you want to make sure you use that specific cycle for that. You have towels, you can use dishcloths, towels, or non-rubber lined rugs. All right, so that is mostly it there. You do have different models. If you have the 7120 and the 8120, right? You have the 5100 or the 6100. It all depends on what model that you have, but you can actually look at it there to give you some idea of some of the options to choose from as far as the cycle settings as well. All right, we can talk about a little bit of icons. All right, so depending on the icon, it'll tell you if it's remote enabled, depending on the icon, if it's on or off. You have your steam fresh, you got your steam, you got reduced static, and you got reduced static and steam. All right, so those are some of the icons that you have to look for when you're looking at this dryer. All right, so you have your Eco Boost, right? So you see the little leaf there. You have your drum light on or light off. Got your Wi-Fi indicator if it's on or disconnected, or connected or disconnected, however you want to look at it. All right, those are the different icons you can look at. You also have a smart grid peak rates in effect. All right, if you have it, the status on, or smart delay, or smart pause, depending on the status that you have it in. All right, you have your favorite cycles. The hearts is always the favorites, man. So you can also download and go cycles as well. We talked about a little bit on some of the options that you have. You can download certain cycles depending on the model. You also have your signal, your cycle signal, low, medium, high, or off. You have your damp, dry signal where you have on and off as well. If you do need any additional assistance, man, we always ask you guys, check out the owner's manual. Go inside the owner's manual, the description box, we'll have that information for you, so you'll be able to contact Whirlpool and get all the information that you might need. All right, so man, we got a lot of stuff that we covered, so we're just gonna let this continue to rock, man. As you can see, man, cleaning the filter, always make sure you clean the filter. The door, again, nice size door, has a little lean on it, and you can tilt it about halfway. This is a 90-degree angle how the door should look. That's one thing, you can look at your door to make sure it's at a 90-degree angle. Anything less than that or more than that, you're gonna have issues with it probably closing, so you might want to get that service. All right. Of course, again, I'm your boy Richie Rich, man, at Consumer Appliance Support. We out of here, man. The functions and the features, you already know. Peace.